Alright, so we have been on a couple of other projects and I'm just now getting back to this tractor here. So I went around all four corners. There's 12 bolts in each hub and it took about 5 to 6 times going around each hub torquing these damn bolts. And of course we did some driving around and we're gonna have to put some time on this and we're gonna have to check them wheels again. But it is a pain in the ass retorquing these wheels like that, but it is essential. Now here's some of the other projects that have been getting worked on. We did have this trailer up and going, and Tim happened to mention that this pump wasn't the greatest, so we went ahead and put a new pump on there. Motor, fan motor. The boys have also been working on this lowboy trailer. They put a new deck on it, used pressure treated lumber, and they're going through and putting all new lights on it. There's been some wires that had to get fixed, and that's what they're working on here now. Going across that, across the rear with LED lights. Sarge has got a lot of the wiring already done up on the front end. New harness going through the hitch. Got a junction box back in here. He's got a new wire going all the way up front here with a new plug on there. This had been a little ratty looking for quite a few years. Here's the original guy here, and it had been mended a couple of times. Another thing that got done to this trailer too, up in the front section where we throw all our chains, and that was all rotted out. They put some galvanized steel in there, and then they ended up putting some like undercoating like type stuff on there, and they'll get the chains back in that, and that will be nice. Nathan has been working on the injector. It's got new discs on it here and there. All new discs, or just about, yeah, all new discs on. Been replacing bearings as he's been going along here. Have you had to do bearings on all of them, Nate? Three of them? And you had a bearing that you wanted to do on a gauge wheel. Did you get those?
No, they weren't as bad as I thought.
Oh, okay. Do you have any thoughts for today?
I don't know. I think my thought for the day is to have your own thought of the day.
Oh, okay. I gotta furnish my own thoughts. That's fair enough. So we've been dealing with a little bit of rain here, so that's why they're working on this today rather than using it. Now, last week, actually the week before, Jared ended up putting a lot of work into this truck, put a transmission in it, clutch. We had all that stuff broken on it from it probably being forced to get itself going on frozen ground. Sarge was coming home with us the other night, and the power divider blew apart on it. Jared thought he could just get the front section, and he tore it apart, took it out to fry, and they said, no, we need the rest of it. So he took the differential out of it, and they said that's the worst one they've ever seen. So we got a reman power divider rear end section in there. They just bolted that in a little while ago, and they're getting drive shaft and stuff like that hooked up. It was just easier to do this outside. Jared bought a attachment for one of our jacks, clutch jack, and it didn't want to work on this differential. So what they did is they muscled it underneath there with a forklift, then come over the top and lifted it up with a chain and guided it into place. Got the bucket loader underneath there. They had the payloader in underneath it as well, and you probably should have the payloader down in there now, Jared. Yeah. Holding the back down. Oh. And he's got it down over the back, but them blocks of wood wouldn't amount to much anything anyway. But I guess he's got the loader down over the top of it, and that might hold it for a little while, but probably not the safest thing. So what we're going to do is we're going to start installing these wheel weights. And before I bought the weights, I probably should have been able to, well, I got the weights before the tractor, and I don't think we had to put the inner ones on the front. This is 9410 here, and this has got a full stack of them in the outer rear dual. It's got nothing on the outside of the inner wheel. However, it has one of them big 1440s on the inside. And this one has nothing on the front, but I think it's got a thick one on the inner. Yeah, it's got a 1440 on the front inner. So this 9620 is going to be weighted up about the same as this 9410 as far as not much up front. We're going to concentrate on the rear. However, we're going to put a bunch of them on the inner part of the rear wheel. So that's what we're going to start with here now that we've got our wheels torqued. We're going to send some bolts through, and we're going to start with these wheel weights. Now they want you to start with a small one and then run the bolts out through it to put the larger ones on. So we're going to put as many as we can on this guy here. So we'll go ahead and get started with it. And probably before I do that, I probably should go ahead and put my dual hub on there, because we're going to be stacked in over the top of it here. So it would be, well, I guess we can put that on. Nah, we better put it on now. Better put our dual hubs on first, and then we'll start with our weights.
What are you washing your handles? Yeah. One load, we had a 45 on. I know we took it out of there. The piece that we cut off is sitting on top of the hydraulic tank on that truck next to that yoke. Over here.
I don't know what I got going on here.
Go rest this. I don't know what I can do.
Try it hard. All right, so we didn't get as much weight as I thought we would be able to get on this outer portion of the wheel. We're right to the edge of the hub. We would not be able to get, at least I don't think anyways, I don't think we'd be able to get another one on here. I was a little worried at first. We're an inch further out with that inner wheel than we were when we got the tractor. We've got some room to push that inner wheel in some, but I wanted the gap up front so that we were away from them blade frame bolts. It'll just be easier to get in there and retorque them, and it'll also cut down on the amount of mud buildup we get up front. I was also concerned that we were going to be sticking out here a little bit too far. This rim is just going to make it up onto here, and we will get the dual on, and I don't think that dual is dished enough to allow another weight on here. I mean, that wouldn't be possible anyways. It would have to be dished like that. So we're gonna get a dual on here, and then we'll get the rear dual on first, then the front dual, and then we'll just do a little switcheroo with the tractor here, and we'll go ahead and do the other side. We went around and torqued this hub. I've got to torque that one there. I've got a real nice snap-on torque wrench that Jared bought, and he actually let me use it on this job. So this made this job real easy to torque the wheels here. So they're over getting a dual now. They've got the right side dual. Just bring it over. What's the next one? Is the next one a left?
Not too sure about that.
Not too sure about that, are we?
No.
So we'll just have to bring them over as we go.
All right.
Unless we, let's just stay on the weight detail. And then that way we can put the duals on and only have to handle them once.
All right.
So bring over a starter and a large one.
All right.
The starter's the small one. All right, change of plans. Andrew, why don't you back this outside and turn it around so we can do the rear wheel on the other side. So we'll get our bolts struck in here. We've got to put a small starter on, and then our two thick ones. All right, you ready there, boy? We gotta get on the other side. theirs to theirs. I'm wrong. I don't know.
There we go.
Try that again.
Yep.
Not yet. Oh yeah, you're right. Andrew's right on that.
Andrew being right?
Dude, why do you have a jacket?
I'm a little bit cold. It's been on, so we don't
You gotta take it right off.
If you take that piece of that out, what are you doing? You're definitely not
Alright, you have to watch yourself. You have to lift it right off. We can set that in there. There. We can put a washer on now. You can get a washer on there. This was easier without the hub on there. We had a heck of a time last time.
Oh, yeah.
That washer's really nice for me. Alright, so we're gonna try to get this guy out there. You hold steady on her. Actually, you can try to push that in. That one went, Andrew. Alright, you can set them tight. And then I gotta put a hub together to go on here.
Well, you don't want to do that yet, do you? You
Well, I guess we could get one on. But I definitely don't want to put that hub on after the fact because I won't be able to spin it through. I try to put the hub on now. Because I won't be able to fiddle. So we're doing this side a little different than the other side. The other side I ended up putting the dual hubs on first. Me and Nate handed that weight on last night. And it was a little bit of a mongrel last night. We got a little more power on it today. Got Fitz here and Andrew, so we got a little more power than me and Nate were last night. But what we're gonna do now is we're gonna set the dual hub on, and then we're gonna go ahead and bring our first large weight. These smaller ones are 72 kilograms. I think they're like 205 pounds. And then these ones here are 205 kilograms, which is I think like 450. So what we have for you guys at home doing the math, we got a 1440 on the inside, a 250, and two 450s. It's 1150 and 1440 that's like 8,000 pounds on one wheel, right? Yeah.
That's right.
Oh, it's not 8,000 pounds for you guys at home that have got your calculators out and they're just hitting the keyboard ever so fearlessly. Make sure you get the decimal point in the right spot. You want to make sure you get typed out the answer correctly there. So we'll go ahead and get another dual hub together and put that up on there. Right there, boy?
That's right.
Right, boy? Yeah, you got your some bitch show sweatshirt on. Some unique machinery brought in to commemorate history. He was not allowed to wear that to school. They didn't allow it. So
That's good because stand that weight up by hand.
yeah. Yeah. Alright, we managed to get our hubs on there. You'll happen to notice that Andrew's using a blue impact. These guys have been buying some Hercules tools here and there from Old Harbor Freight. And so far so good as far as that impact goes compared to a Milwaukee. Milwaukee is the best of the line, but Hercules comes in a nice second, doesn't it, bud?
Nice.
Yeah? What do we run? We run Milwaukees, or are you guys running them D-walls?
We're running red.
You're running red? Got away from the D-walls,
Yeah.
the dumb waltz?
They're not bad now, but
Yeah. Alright. So I gotta number this hub, torque it. Actually, I could probably put that weight on while Andrew's tightening that front hub. And we're hanging the weight from a bolt. And then we got to put our other bolts in that hub before we set it on there so we can get the third weight on. And then we'll bring the duals in. We'll get them fitted up, get some weights on them. And then we'll have this job wrapped up. Right, bud? Tighten that one? Or do you want to be a part of the weight install project? Hubs do a good job staying right where you leave them. They do good. All right. Bring her on in here, boy.
Relaxable.
Yeah, I know. We broke one. Alright, you can let that down, Fitz. Just enough room to hang that son of a gun. Alright, we'll go grab that other one. While Junior's tightening these up. Need me to hold that one?
I think it's good.
All right. So far, so good with the new tool, huh, Bob?
Yeah.
Good deal. Alrighty, so we have that on there. We're gonna pull the tractor outside, turn it around so that we can go ahead and throw the dual on the rear on the other side. And then what I'm gonna do is just use the blade to raise the front end up in order to put the front wheels on. So we'll show you what problem we're dealing with once we get that other wheel on. So let's get turned around. We'll get that other wheel on, and then we'll show you what our problem is. Alright, so we've got this left rear on there, and here is our problemo. We don't have enough room between the tires. So I haven't decided if I'm going to tell you what I've got going on there, or if I'm just going to let the wizards figure it out. So that's where we're going to leave off with this video. I want the experts to fill me in on what I've got wrong with this situation. I'll just let you look at everything very nice and closely here. I already know the answer. I knew the answer before I bought this tractor. and I'll fill you in on that on the next video. But I've got some real smart guys here that I'm sure would love to get on this keyboard and just freaking type it in. So go ahead and put your comment down below as to what we're going to be able to do to fix that situation. We've got the same amount of room between the inner hub and the end of the axle on the front as we do the back. So that'll be a couple of clues as to what we have going on with this particular situation. So when we roll into the next video, we'll put the front wheels on, and what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna put a couple blocks of wood under the blade. I'm gonna push the blade frame down. I'm gonna use the blade frame for a jack. So we're gonna leave off with you right here, and we'll join up with you guys in the next video, and I will explain what's going on with the spacing on these wheels, because you cannot leave, or you cannot have the duals this close. They are essentially a 1600 tire right there. They're two 800s together. Maybe I should have put that inner hub or outer hub in a little bit more so we could have those tires touching. But we do not want that. We want a gap to be in there, or we're going to be filling up with stones and dirt and mud and everything else. So with that being said, that is going to do it for this video, and we're going to roll right into the next video, and we're going to start off with explaining what we have wrong with the current situation that we're dealing with right now. So I want to thank everybody for watching, and we will catch you at the next video.